What is going on, everybody? My name is Conor Lawler. Welcome back to the week of the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and just generally having a bit of a chit-chat about everything to do with film. I am joined as always by my best man, Mr. Shaun. Me and Shaun, how's it going?
I'm doing good, Conor. Are we meant to talk about films today? Because I have nothing prepared.
I'll be honest with you, this week is slightly different. So
good.
I'm actually not even sure if there's going to be a weird news. There might be. We'll see if we can get to it. But, Shaun, I don't want to sound too big-headed, but we've had a few extra listeners join us over the last little while.
And mother and father, thank you very much.
My mum and dad downloaded Spotify. So we got those two locked in. So we've had a few extra listeners, and what I have found over on Blue Sky, we're on Blue Sky, by the way, we're hopping off that if you want to head on over there, is that a lot of people are asking, what's the deal with the podcast? There's a lot of new people. They're asking questions that maybe we haven't answered in a long time, that maybe older listeners already know the answers to.
There is like 5 or 6 years of lore that we just take for granted that everyone's caught up on, and we'll make the jokes.
Yeah.
And if that's someone's first episode, that can be a lot, I understand that.
It can be a lot, and so we decided for 1 week only, it's going to be a very special Q&A episode where we threw out the questions to everyone to ask whatever they wanted, and lots of people came back to us.
Thank you very much.
We might not get to them all, but there's lots of names. I want to thank everyone for sending them all in, and we'll just try and get through as many of them as possible, because I think this might be a fun little week. It's a little bit of a different episode.
Oh, if there's anything I love, it's talking about myself, Conor, to be honest with you. So this is right up my street.
If this is your first episode, actually, good.
Yeah, you fucking nailed it. You picked the right one.
We'd really, you don't have to do anything, but if it's your second or above, we'd really appreciate 5 stars, a like, a follow, a share, whatever way you can support the show, that'd really help us out. We are going for 150 5-star reviews on Spotify before the summer solstice.
Yeah, and I gotta tell you folks, it's getting sunnier and sunnier, so that time period is
getting
dwindling.
real low.
Don't call me big boy.
If you could support our show that way, that would be absolutely great. We also have a Patreon, which we recently reviewed Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer over there.
Fun time.
And every single month the patrons get to choose whatever movie they want us to do, and we throw them all into a hat, and then we pick one out, and we have to review it. By legality, we'll be locked in, otherwise we'll be thrown in jail.
It's true, till the winter solstice.
We'll be looking at that sun at 10 o'clock in the evening. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, no. Oh, God. My mental health.
From our cell bars, looking out the window. So, Shaun, as I said, this is going to be a Q&A episode. Now, I kind of sent the questions to Shaun to try and prepare him, but I know Shaun, and I know he won't do any work.
Hey,
so, I know he will skim it.
I've skimmed him. I saw that there was a couple of pages of questions, and I was like, oh, class.
Words. Yes, I see that.
I'll do it on the night. It's fine.
We'll do it live. So, Shaun, I decided, because it's Q&A, I was going to change it up slightly. We have all the questions from people, right? But I then decided it might be funny to do a pre-interview question with you.
What? You didn't send me this. I didn't ignore this.
So I just genuinely googled pre-interview questions,
fuck's sake.
and the worst things ever came up, and I think these are really funny. So I'm just gonna throw these to you before we get into the full, obviously, Q&A. Shaun,
yeah.
But these are the important questions.
Before we get into the questions that people want to know, let's do this.
Obviously, I don't care about them. I'm here for the fun, right?
All right.
So, Shaun, before we get started, are there any off topics, topics off limits? Just for you, just so we're clear.
No, I'm an open book. If this podcast has proved anything, it's that I will talk about any aspect of my life in too much detail.
Any NDAs?
No, none at all. I wish I had an NDA to breach.
I wish I could say something. Are there any topics you're most excited about discussing?
My friendship with Conor, which is, let's be honest, on thin ice these days.
How are you feeling? Anything you want to talk through before we start recording?
Surely you should ask me these before the recording starts.
A good professional podcast would have, Shaun, but for the fun, I decided to do it on air. So is there anything you want to talk through before we start recording? Just pretend like we're not recording.
Okay, pretend that we're not recording. Well, I've been drinking a lot.
That rash has not cleared up. Just to let you know.
Spread, actually.
Have you ever recorded a podcast before?
I mean, what is recording, really? Do you know?
What is recording but life? Persevering.
I just turn up and have a chat.
And then there was just like they said whimsical questions.
That's all I do.
And it just said, what did you have for breakfast today?
I didn't eat breakfast. I haven't actually eaten yet today.
Oh no.
Actually no, that's a lie. I had a handful of Pringles around 11 o'clock.
That's not, I keep saying that's not breakfast. I like, Shaun, please.
I washed it down with a white Monster, Connor. I'm in the prime of my life.
I'm just worried about you. This is now just an intervention. What are red flags in a relationship? Eating Pringles for breakfast?
Could be.
Yeah.
If they're like, if you're an assassin and you suspect they're also assassin and you keep like dropping wine bottles and shit to see what happens, red flag there.
And one of you's Brad Pitt and one of you's Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
And you're married.
Oh, you've been in my head, I see.
Yes. And lastly, what do you think about the phrase, you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with?
I think I'm a tapestry of all the people I've ever known, personally, but that means I'm a fifth you. No, fuck that.
Yay! So, Shaun, that is the end of the pre-interview questions. We have officially gotten through them.
Who was that for?
Me. That was solely for me.
I found that deeply unpleasant because you had like actual like interview voice on.
Yeah, I'm interviewing you. This is now an interview. Sorry, did I not tell you? This
no.
If
I get to stay on the show.
Okay, now we can get into the boring questions that people sent in. Okay, fine.
Stop negging the listeners.
No, you guys are great.
This dynamic is weird.
Shaun, we're going to start off with a good one. Is there a character that gets requested often of either of you for Hero or Zero that you really don't like or don't want to cover?
Oh, don't like is interesting.
Don't like is an interesting way to phrase that, because I would say it's not that we don't like them. It would be more so that like it would take so much backstory to get to that character.
Yeah, they're the only ones. It's the ones where it's so much setup. A lot of the X-Men fall into this. Of like, there's like, because I really want to do Onslaught, which is like a weird Professor X Magneto psychic lunatic man. But there's so much, like, there's 4 or 5 years of backstory till he appears.
I spent a lot of time afraid of covering Raven from the Teen Titans. And for loads of years, I was like, I'm not covering Raven, because I was going to do her 1 week. And then I ended up, like, I was writing the report. And the first 3 pages were me setting up the buy-in of, like, what the fuck is going on here with, like, there's demons and shit. And I think now I actually would be more confident. I think I could do her, but I just remember that was the one that came to mind that I was like, I'm not covering that. Because comics are weird, and there's sometimes characters that like, they're just so out there that you need... I think the X-Men is a good example, that like there's like 40 years of backstory before you get to that character and why they're there.
And even... There's the stuff like there's some characters and people know like the broad strokes. Even a character like Quicksilver is coming to mind. Like, people know, he's quick and he's kind of a mutant sometimes. But then you look at the last 15 years in comics where they've just been freewheeling with the character, and he's an Inhuman now, I think, but he's still an honorary mutant. And like it's so messy at a certain point. The question
with every Hero Zero is always, how far into the hole do you go?
Yeah.
Because every character has a 10-year stretch, if they've been around long enough, where things get fucking mental. And it's, when we're doing the reports for Hero Zero, it's normally like, we cover the main things, and then when we get to that part, you're like, well, how far in do you want to go? It got weird, is kind of all you can say.
This is the thing, you can't cover a character's full history, and the bigger the character, it's almost like the sooner you have to call it and just be like, that's enough. You have enough basis to know if you like this character or not.
I have one that always gets recommended and requested, and I'm sorry for anyone who has requested it. Arm Fall Off Boy.
Yeah.
Because, not because Arm Fall Off Boy is a very funny character. He takes his arm off and he throws it to people, or he beats people to death with it. It's a very funny character, and it's a really famous comic book thing that, like, he's one of the worst characters ever created. The issue is, the Hero Zero show is like half an hour long, or like maybe 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think there's maybe 7 minutes of actual content.
I think there's maybe 7 pages that he appears on in comics.
like, there's nothing, unless I covered, there was a lad, he could take off his arm. Okay, and that's it.
Yeah. And I've done, I've done it in Marvel with, you remember the Headmen? With like Shrunken Bones and Gorilla Man and stuff like that. Like, I'm just doing like 4 or 5 shit ones in a row. We did the royalty-free superheroes occasionally. And you have to wait until there's like 5 or 6 of them. And you can just bash them out all in a row.
I did the pets, didn't I? The Super Pets. There's an episode of Hero Zero where I did the Super Pets, where I threw like 7 or 8 of them in at once. Because you can't just cover Crypto the Superdog.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, let's throw them all in and see what we got.
It's something I've been toying around with as well, is covering events. Because it would be so handy to be able to be like, hey, listen to the Secret Invasion episode, and that would... You would save a lot of information in other reports.
With stuff like that, so like you could do the Secret Invasion, or you could do like big storylines. The problem is, especially for you, if you're going to do something really big, or me as well, is that like there's so many characters that if we haven't done a Hero Zero on them and there's someone random, and we're just like, oh yeah, they're there too, and also they're really important for this story, then it's like, well, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah.
What's going on? There's so many characters. I would love to do like a big storyline. This is what's going on. And I'm interested to see how it would work, because you're like, oh, there's a thread over here with Miles Morales. Also, there's a thread over here with these people, and there's a thread over here. And then like 40 minutes in, they all come together.
This is the thing, but I was running through this in my head, and it's like, Secret Wars 2015, I think I've covered every major player in that on a Hero or Zero. Okay.
So
I could, in theory, the one I would need is Valeria Richards, I think.
Right, okay. I like that you're putting them together like Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, I'm like assembling my own thing so I can do 1.5 hour report and then no one can listen to it ever again.
Okay, we spent quite a long time on that question, so we're going to move on. Shaun, a good one for you. If you could punch any historical figure, in any niche historical figure, who would it be? So you can't say Hitler because everyone's going to punch Hitler. So who would you pick if you could pick any historical figure? And
I just appear and punch them. I don't live in the time.
And you can punch him in the balls or in the face.
Oh, in the balls would be great.
I'm assuming it's a man.
Oh, it's all... Of course, I'm not going to... I wouldn't punch a woman. Okay. Okay.
I'm interested to know, by the way, if you picked the same person that I've picked.
I don't think we've picked the same person.
Okay, that's fair enough. Go on.
I was going to punch Scipio in the balls.
Who's Scipio?
Legendary Roman general who, after years of Hannibal, who was sacking Rome to try and win it for Carthage, Scipio finally used Hannibal's So Hannibal had a load of elephants because he was in Africa, and he ran them at Scipio, but Scipio had spaced his men and elephants width apart, so the elephants just walked right past him, and then Scipio encircled him using Hannibal's own tactics. And I want, at the moment of victory where Scipio finally defeats Hannibal, I want to appear and punch him in the balls.
That is, I can't think if that's the best answer to that question or the worst answer to that question.
It's the most useless. Because
it's certainly the most useless.
But like, Scipio will go home to Rome a hero, but he will know he just got punched in the balls. Yeah. He might have some
coming back from, do you remember that guy that punched you in the balls?
Yeah, that time traveller with green hair who punched you in the balls.
I mean, Shaun, I think you've done it wrong. is what I would say. I'm going to punch Cromwell, obviously.
Oh, Cromwell, of course. Of course we'll punch Cromwell.
Come on.
Well, you've got Cromwell nailed down, so
I mean, the first thing I thought of was Oliver Cromwell. So if you're from America or something, you don't know this lad, just as an Irish person, you have to punch Cromwell. I think it's like ingrained in us that fucker needs a punch multiple times.
Could do Henry VIII and just like really... You remove Cromwell from the equation at that point.
Yeah, but I just really want to punch Cromwell.
If he had been punched earlier, it would have been fine.
Oh, so you know what? You ever look at somebody like, you need to get beaten up?
Yeah. Do you know who I could do? Is the guard who caught Guy Fawkes. If I just knock him out, history changes, man.
No, I got to rephrase it. Sometimes you look at someone and you go, you should have been bullied when you were younger.
Yeah.
You weren't bullied enough.
Like a sustained pattern over a decade, you should have been bullied and you would be a better person.
Because I think, like, we were bullied.
Yeah.
And I think, and then you're like, you look at someone like, you've had it too easy.
Yeah. You've coasted since you were about 12.
You're walking around here thinking you're fucking dog's bollocks, the best person ever. No, I'm not having that. Right?
No.
You need to have a little bit of bullying.
You just a little bit. Not to the point where it ruins someone's life.
No. I just don't want somebody to call you a dickhead every now and then.
You need to be humbled every so often, I think, in life. It's the most Catholic thing we've ever said.
So, next question. What is your lad's top 3 favourite pre-2010 superhero movie? That is...
Oh, okay.
That is tough.
Blade, first of all.
I love Blade!
Blade is class. We've gone through this.
By the way, Iron Man, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, they're all there. We didn't go immediately for them. We went for Blade.
Because Blade should not work, but it does.
Blade has that. Like, if anyone ever slags Blade, I'm just like, watch the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just watch the first 5. You don't have to watch anything after that. It doesn't really work. It's not even that good, but it has
aura.
I knew you were going to say that. It has an aura that I can't put my finger on, but it just is fun. It's fun to watch.
It's exactly what that movie needs to be. I would also, and this might be controversial, and it might be recency bias, Constantine fucking fucks as well.
That does have aura as well, but that movie's not good.
It's not good. It's not good at all. But it does. There's something that just...
To be fair, they didn't ask you're the best. They said your favourite, your top 3 favourites.
Which leads me on to Hellboy, I think.
Oh, you're going really supernaturally weird. So
Blade, because
Constantine Hellboy.
Yeah, because I think maybe the superhero... Oh, but then Spider-Man 2 exists.
Spider-Man 2 and Batman Begins exists. Iron Man 1, Dark Knight, like...
Incredible Hulk.
Actually, what am I doing? The best movie pre-2010 is The Incredibles, obviously.
Oh, fuck, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that works. Can I have 5? And then I put Spider-Man 2 and Incredible Hulk in there as well.
I have X-Men 2 written down here as well.
X-Men 2 is great. That rips.
That's really strong. Really strong as well. Some really good ones. Just really, really good ones. Okay, moving on. What is the first comic the two of you ever read in your lives?
Actually, the Death in the Family was the first one.
A good strong start.
We
both started with Batman, weirdly, but
strange.
I always remember, like, I never got fully into comics until like much later in life, because I have a really funny, like, dumb story of that. Like, I used to like one issue. So, like, say when I was like 6 or 7, like, I'd go to the shop and be like, oh, ma'am, could you get me that one issue of Batman or Spider-Man or whatever?
Because the picture looks really cool on the front.
The picture was cool. I liked them, right? So then I'm reading it, but I've no idea what's going on. It could be like issue 4 of like a 40 issue arc. So I'm like, I've no idea who any of these people are. Okay, cool. And then I obviously got really into the animated series, Batman the animated series, then Batman Beyond. I became obsessed with all that stuff. And then I just really became obsessed with Dick Grayson and Robin and Nightwing. And I was like, just like solely focused, like, I want all of the content that exists with this character. And
if only he was in more media.
This is the stupidest logic of all time. Right? I started with like the animated series, and then I like moved into all of the animated movies, and I watched all of them, and then I was like, is there anywhere else that I could I'm like 14, like, I'm like, is there anywhere else that I could find content that includes Dick Grayson? And
Titans hadn't been made yet. So.
Titans hadn't been made. I'd been watching the Teen Titans. I watched Trouble in Tokyo. I was watching all that, Sean. But and I was like, what could I do? I suppose I could read a comic that includes him. And at the exact time that I was thinking this, so like 2009, Battle for the Cowl was literally
it's your favourite run of Batman ever.
Which is when Batman dies and Dick Grayson steps in as Batman, and then you have like a full-on brawl for who's taking over as Batman, because Jason Todd is there and Tim Drake is all the Robins, because I'm a massive Robin fan. Like Robin is all my favourite characters. So like literally in comics at that exact moment was Battle for the Cowl, and I was like, this is the best thing ever. They should make more of these jokes.
These comics, I think there's a future here, boys.
Fucking hell, lads. And then of course you work back from there. So yeah, Battle for the Cowl was my first, like, I'm gonna read from issue 1 to the last issue.
Yeah, and you were like, oh, I'm actually going to follow along with this and see where this goes.
Yeah. I had Beanos and Dandies and all for years, but like in terms of like superhero comics, I mean,
like comic books versus comic strips, I would call it. Like,
yeah, and so you said you read a Batman as well, which is weird. Well, like,
Death in the Family. I got into Spider-Man. I was in Dublin for my cousin's communion or confirmation or something. But because I remember going into the shop and I saw it was Spider-Man The Other, which it's the worst Spider-Man story to start with, because it's the one where they introduce spider totems.
Oh, amazing.
So I had seen, like, Spider-Man 2 or 3 had come out, I think. And I just saw this and I was like, I was on a Spider-Man kick. And then I was like, oh, I love Spider-Man. And I was like, oh, this is really weird.
This isn't like the show at all.
And he like follows along, like I followed that along. And I was like, oh, he got kind of reborn as a spider. Now he has the web things like in the movie, I guess.
I suppose that works.
Just a really thoroughly unpleasant introduction to Spider-Man. But then I started reading Ultimate Spider-Man, and that's great. Yeah. And that was made for me at the age that I was.
I think like that's why those animated shows are so good, because like it's even animated Spider-Man. I remember watching that non-stop as well. Like, so good, just a 90s animated show. Now obviously that's nostalgia as well, that I'm like, oh, it's the best. Kids don't have it that good these days.
I went back to watch it. It's charming. It's like it kind of holds up.
It's not great, but it was just because it was on TV. You're like, oh, Spider-Man.
I
like Spider-Man. Like,
it's just one of those things. It's like like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's like, it's just the media you're watching at the time. Yeah. It's like, you're meant to like this. Yeah, and I did, exactly. And I do.
Okay, so we're moving on. So the next question, Sean, is how did you both meet?
Well, okay. So, let me pull out my best man speech here, because... So, we met in college. Conor was a year ahead of me. And I was talking to a different member of Conor's year, who was, we were getting advice on, we were making a kids TV show, was our like brief. Yeah. And then Conor comes up and says, do you want to see how good I am at hurling? And because in his kids show, he had like taught all the kids how to hurl, and he was running around the pitch.
Hurling, by the way, Irish sport, just don't worry about it, it's fine.
It's like hockey, but angrier. And Conor showed me that, and then we started talking about comics. And then we would just chat kind of casually while everyone else around us was doing work. I remember...
I wasn't doing any work, like.
No. I remember saying I liked Green Arrow, and you said, oh, is that just because of the CW series? And I was like, no, there was an episode of the animated series with him in it, and... or an animated series, and you were like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I think it was The Batman or something like that had him in it.
Justice League Unlimited you might be thinking of. Well, maybe
Have I seen an episode of Justice League Unlimited?
There's an episode called Double Date, which is pretty good with him and Huntress. But no, I would say that probably was the animated The Batman. From
that's what I'm thinking.
Season 5 he appears at some stage.
Yeah. And so that was that, and then it was around this time, 2016, was it? 2017?
What are you talking about?
Because around Paddy's Day, we met in the McDonald's bathroom, and you were like, "Do you want to be on the radio?"
Met in the McDonald's bathroom.
Yeah.
So the story goes, right, that I obviously after this I was like, that guy, he matches my weird, right? Yeah. Obviously this whole story I don't come across well. I come across as a bit weird, right? But like,
also fucking killed during the wedding speech, by the way. That's
oh, fucking annoyed me. But so I then actually finished college, and then I got a job working at a local radio station.
Yes.
And I did my own show, and this is actually a different question somebody else sent in of what was the old radio show like. Where was it? How did you get their opportunity?
Largely this, but music breaks.
Yeah, so it was just basically I got lucky and I finished, and I sent in a cheeky email to be like, hey, can I do a show? And they were like, yeah. And obviously the station was brand new, right? So nobody was there, right? So I was like, okay, I'll do the Tuesday at 8 to 10, the prime time slot.
When everyone's listening to local radio.
Tuesday night, right? And then they were like, what do you want to talk about? And I was like, well, movies. So I want to talk about movies, and I want to talk about weird news, because I randomly remember listening to a radio station like years before, and they were talking about like a funny story of like, what's a weird story? And I was like, that's funny. I could do that.
Yeah. I can just find weird shit from around the world.
Find weird shit.
Local radio, no one has heard that story before, ever.
Exactly. And so I basically had a full 2-hour show to myself. I was only like 21. And they were just like, oh, here's the full 2 hours, go for it. So I just got to play what I wanted, talk about what I wanted for 2 hours. And then I remember thinking, this is really hard by myself.
I wish I had an idiot I could bounce off.
I wish I had somebody to throw to, right? And so I tried out a few different people. And actually, a friend of the show, Conor Martin, and me, we actually hosted a sports show on the Friday then as well. I got back into the
Friday slot.
I was doubling up on Friday as well. So then I realised that I was like, right, I want to co-host. So I tried out a few different people. They were all very good. But in my head, I was like, I want Shaun. And I asked him like 3 times, and every time he said no. Right?
Like Peter, I denied him.
And I was like, I think you'll be really good. I just had a vision. And I
was terrified I would bottle it. Like,
and I don't know why, but in my head I was like, you're going to be good. And I think we'll be good.
You got something, kid.
You got something. I was like, I'm shit, right? And you're much better than me. And I need you. And so I asked 3 times. Shaun rejected every single time. And then the next time I met him, I was doing the Irish rugby team were playing a match on Paddy's Day against England in the Six Nations.
Yeah.
And it was a massive game. We were going for the Grand Slam. It was a really big competition. And me and Conor Martin, friend of the show, were live commentating the match, right, for the radio.
You were out in like the town square actually doing
we
this.
Were in the town square. It was insane. Commentating during the parade, like doing the live commentary.
Yeah, I was in the pub.
And he was in the pub. And then across the road was a McDonald's. And at half time, I was like, Conor, I really need to go to the bathroom. I'll be back in a second, right? So we played some music, and then I ran across the road. I went into the McDonald's, and who's standing in the McDonald's bathroom is him, who's come in for a Big Mac. and I
got a shamrock shake as well.
And he had a few pints in him at this stage, so he was well oiled.
I was suggestible.
And I said, Shaun, Tuesday night, are you around? Right?
And I think it was like, yep, I'll be there.
And he turned up, and he hasn't left since. It's hard to get rid of him.
No, and that was years ago, and we still talk every week.
2017, I think it was. So that was
insane.
What's that? 8 years ago.
Nearly 8, yeah.
And so we did the radio show for like another year, and then we just set up this because we were like, we'll just do our own thing because the music was annoying us. Like having to take breaks, and then we were structuring the segments because like on radio you have to do like 15 minutes ad, 15 minutes ad kind of thing.
And also it was like because there was music we couldn't put it up anywhere. was the thing. Like, we couldn't...
Yeah.
Because we both, we used to listen to a lot more podcasts as well. Like, we were both quite into that. We had both, like, done media and stuff and knew about how to produce a radio show from college. But we were like, we want to put this in a bigger audience rather than, you know, the few kilometres that the signal tower can reach.
Sean is good at editing, and I'm good at putting a show together. Well, I think. And so our strengths are like pre-production and post-production. And so then we just came together.
And we're both kind of grand on the production side of things.
In the middle, we're not great. Either end, we're okay. If you want to go back to the audio at the start, it's really terrible, but that's just because the microphones are
That's
terrible,
more of an equipment issue and funding.
That's an equipment issue.
I will say as well, I think being on the radio helped a lot with just the production of the show, because we do it like it's a live show. Like, there is no real editing. Like, we're not chopping out individual bits, because there's never really any dead air unless
if it's an hour and 20 minutes, we sit down hour and 20 minutes and just go straight through. There's never an edit, really, unless there's like maybe some sort of lag or a microphone dies for like a second and like there's a bit of dead air and you have to kind of like edit it to squash it together. But other than that, there's no editing, and I think it's just because weirdly you don't notice it when you're like listening, I think, but I'm like editing it in my head. I'm like structuring it. I'm still like a radio show. I'm like, okay, 10, 15, 10, 15, okay, cool.
And Hero or Zero is one of the biggest ones where we edit on the fly of like, because we've put together the report and we know what's like key information to hit, and some stories are, some like character moments are nice to have, but we can get rid of them if we need to. So if the episode's running long because we're just chatting shit, we can just cut that out and then it still hits the 25 minutes, half an hour nicely.
I also had a question very vaguely in this area, so we'll move on to something else very quickly. But they were like, I know it's already been answered ages ago, but I want to know if it's changed at all. What's the process of recording and editing the shows? Very straightforward. Are they both recorded the same day? How long after are they edited? And do they go out into the world?
So generally, we would record the Monday show on like Friday, usually. It just works out with our schedules, because we both work like regular jobs. So it's just the easiest way to do it is that way. And then Hero or Zero, usually we record that on a Thursday, the day before it comes out. We do often batch those because they're not time sensitive. Like they can
because
come
like
out at any
I can
point.
talk about Nightwing 4 weeks from now, but it's still Nightwing. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, nothing's going to change. Whereas the news, you have to be fairly caught up around, like, you know, Comic-Con and D23 and stuff. We will try and get it as close to the like the panel date as possible. Yeah, just because that kind of stuff, if you miss that by a week, it really sucks. Because and now look,
sometimes we try and get as close as possible. We do Sunday evening or like Monday morning, and
everything drops on Tuesday,
work permitting, and then a trailer drops on Tuesday and we look like fucking idiots. So you can't really do anything about that. You just kind of have to get as close as possible. Like, the episode has to come out on Monday or vaguely Tuesday. Sometimes we miss it, but like within that 24-hour gap. Okay, well, that's kind of answered 3 questions in one shot. That's great work.
Nice. Knocking it out with a park, boys. This is fun. I like talking about stuff that's... we're actually giving real answers as well, though. Like...
Because they were like really like behind the scenes. Would you
also, if anyone's interested, we edit in Adobe Audition and we upload to Acast. If people are interested at all in that.
And I have a Blue Yeti microphone, so classic if you want to buy one of them. And Sean keeps saying he's going to buy one and then doesn't.
I will, though. I will. And
he told me, I would say maybe March of last year, that he was like, oh yeah, definitely this week,
I've been jammed up.
I'm going down to the shop on Friday, he said.
I'm tight on funds.
Since March of last year.
Actually, work is sending me a gift card, so I'll buy it out with that.
You won't. See,
I'll send you a receipt. I will send you a receipt within the week.
For anyone who doesn't know Sean, he is a habitual liar.
I'm not a habitual liar. I have good intentions, and then things happen around me.
He would say things so you leave a conversation going, he's a good lad.
And he is a good lad, to be fair. I have a surprise for you that you're going to be delighted about.
Oh, am I? Okay, alright. Yeah, so, I mean...
You'll see.
Sean works really well if you give him a time frame. If you go, I need something by Monday morning, he'll start it like Sunday night, but it'll be done by Monday. He'll stay up for 12 hours.
It'll be done to a good quality as well. Like, I'm not.
But if I say, could we have that? I don't know, a video in the next, I don't know, week and a half. I don't know. No, a vague end date.
No.
Could be months. Could be years.
Impossible. Undoable, I would say.
Just how his brain works. Would you ever consider running a panel, a live show at a Dublin Comic Con?
Would anyone come?
I don't think anyone would come, but yes, I suppose we would.
What we'll do, we'll be out in the car park and we'll like pop the boot and we'll just sit there and we'll just chat to people as they walk past.
Just how you doing?
What's going on, lads? People have said it would be good to, like, you know, have like business cards to hand out and stuff, or like something to be like, hey, we do this. I don't like. I wouldn't come see me. Does that make sense?
Fucking hell. You're meant to be selling it.
What, are we doing this? Is this how you soft launch it?
Yeah, I've said I set it up for next week.
Alright, grand. I'll do. I'll show up.
Imagine you shitting yourself before that fan.
Oh, lad, the panic. You've seen me try to get on an airplane. Like,
before we went out, and they're like, room's full. Shaun, go on out there with a live microphone.
But I would worry, you don't want me to have a live mic in front of a room of people.
I think it'd go two ways. Either you'd shut down or you would light up so far the other way that everyone's like, Jesus, he's talking a lot here.
Jesus, really, he's hogging the mic there a little bit. He's only meant to be introducing the show.
Someone asked, will there be a Chair sequel?
Sofa? I mean, there's nowhere else to go with Chair. Like, it was in one comic for like one issue, and that's all. That's the reason Chair is funny.
You know what's so funny is we were talking earlier on about like, if there's not enough content, Chair is the only one because you have to have the buy-in straight away.
Yeah,
that like it's so dumb that it's kind of becomes funny.
And I think because I made you angry right out of the gate.
Yeah, because you said the thing about what does Santa sit on?
Because that's our Christmas episode for 2 years ago.
I said, okay, it's a Christmas episode, so it has to be Christmassy. Who are you doing? You were like, Santa sits on this.
And you were so mad off jump that it just made it so funny. That video for Chair is one of my favourite things that I've ever made.
Yeah, it's actually, I think it's our most liked thing on Blue Sky at the moment. So it still gets retweeted today. Just like people just like retweet it, just like, this is a ridiculous concept.
Yeah, that's what Hero Zero should be, is like just that level of character.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on. Which one of you is posting, replying on Blue Sky? I feel like it's mostly Conor, but occasionally I pick up some Shaun vibes.
Interesting. Well, the secret, folks, is that it's all me. I don't know the passwords.
Nobody ever in the history of the show has had a reply by Shaun.
I'm real sorry, folks. I'm not good at it.
Which, you know what? I'm quite proud of that people are picking up Shaun vibes. That means I'm like...
That's wild.
Because if I do a post, it has to be both of us.
Yes.
So I can't go into business for myself. So, like, if I reply to someone, it has to be, what would me and you both say simultaneously?
Yeah, like we're giving an answer on a panel or something, it has to sound like. No,
I'm quite proud of that.
You know, and you're very good at the social media stuff. I'm not good at that.
He barely follows us, to be honest with you.
To be honest, yeah. I'm more...
When we first started, right, I had to tell him to like one of our tweets. Right? It's his own podcast.
That's not the content, though, is it? You know?
I was just like, Shaun, could you just give your own podcast a like there, please?
Any level of interaction and not just be a bot follower.
A retweet would be grand, but at this point you're just taking up space.
I need to cull that list a little bit, you know.
Okay, so we're going to have another movie question. Best movies to be made in the last decade, in your opinion. Fucking hell.
Ooh, alright. Well, I really wish I read over these questions beforehand.
This is exactly what I'm talking about.
I mean, Dune, first of all, that's just a miracle that got made.
I have Dune 1 and 2.
Yeah. Snubbed.
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse, yeah. The Parasite, I think, is phenomenal.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Everything Everywhere All at Once, great.
Guardians of the Galaxy is 2014, but I'm counting that in the decade.
Yeah, that's within the... I mean, there's a bunch of smaller... I say smaller. Like, Iron Claw is what just made me cry so hard.
Oh, so funny that you watched that. Did you know anything about that beforehand?
No. And then I looked it up and it's worse.
Why? I'll never watch it because I know the story.
Man, it's a killer.
And it was so funny when they were like doing the promotions. They were like, the guy, he's the chef, and then we got Zac Efron. Like all your handsome boys, they're all in this.
But you can't do a fun press tour for that movie.
Like they were doing like a full-on trailer, and I was like, lads, the poor people that are like, will we go on a date to the Iron Claw?
Oh yeah. Someone that's their first date, and it's like, ooh, maybe not.
Read the room. Iron Claw is, I mean, I haven't seen it, but I've heard really good things because I watched the live action version.
You know the actual wrestling
I know the live action version, and I don't want to know about those stories either. So, horrendous.
And but it's the I don't know. I could also show that to someone who doesn't care about wrestling, and then suddenly they care about this one wrestling family.
Yeah.
And it's just such a cool experience.
Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah. Wild that got made. Still have not seen Furiosa, actually.
I've seen it. It's pretty good. It's really good.
Yeah.
Like, it's really good stuff. Like, it's obviously Mad Max Fury Road, I think, is just, like, outrageous. I think Furiosa kind of reaches to that level a little bit. But there's just something, because I think I went into Furiosa expecting Mad Max Fury Road, whereas I went into Mad Max not expecting anything.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit. Very similar to Guardians of the Galaxy, where I was like, oh, this could be shite. And then halfway through, I was like, this is the best movie I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that's the thing, where it's like, you go in with no expectations and you're more than pleased. You're like, oh, this has changed how I watch films now. I think for you might be The Fall Guy.
Fall Guy's the best movie ever. I have The Nice Guys and The Fall Guy, right? Are two Ryan Gosling absolute bangers that I would recommend. The Fall Guy is not a good movie, but it's one of my favourite movies ever.
And that's fine, it's allowed to be
I just love it. I just absolutely love that movie. I laugh so hard at it constantly.
The Lighthouse is great, if anyone hasn't seen The Lighthouse.
Different vibes from The Fall Guy.
Very different vibes.
Very different vibes. Get Out, great movie.
Nope as well. Nope is great.
Nope is really good. Diane Kaluuya hasn't been in a movie since Nope. Did you know that?
He was Hobie Browne, wasn't he? In Spider-Verse.
Yeah, but as in like a live action.
Oh, as in a live action thing. Huh.
Imagine being in Nope and then not getting any work for 2 years.
Or is he doing stuff, you know?
He must be doing some stuff because he's so fucking good.
He's got to be working away. Daniel Kaluuya. Maybe he doesn't have to.
Yeah, but he's set. He's set for life.
This is another part of the Q&A. Is just what's
Daniel Kaluuya. It's the Q&A where Shaun. The Q is what will Shaun find?
He was a writer, director, producer of The Kitchen.
Good.
And that was 2023. And his next project is Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse 2027. It's not coming out.
Is this man not in any movies? Is he just taking time out?
He doesn't need to. He was in Johnny English Reborn.
He's living off that Johnny English money. You could do the classic of what everyone thinks: Avengers, Endgame, Infinity War.
As an achievement in long-term storytelling, I think certainly.
As a cinema experience, I think they're right up there in terms of like, oh shit, they're gonna fucking stick the landing, which is amazing to see.
Yeah.
Love Spotlight. I think that's a great movie.
Yeah. The Green Knight is one of my favourite films.
You love The Green Knight. You're always on about The Green Knight.
It's great. The guy who plays The Green Knight, Ralph Ineson, he is Galactus, and I'm real excited for that. Good voice. And
he's living off the Office money.
Oh yeah, you better believe it.
Yeah, of course. And the best movie that's ever been made in the last decade or ever is The Batman. So, I mean, you have to figure that in.
I was going to say Morbius for the joke, but yeah, The Batman's pretty good.
Which is better, Morbius or The Batman?
Morbius.
Madam Web, better than The Batman.
Actually, when was Good Time made? 2017, it counts. Good Time's class.
It's not better than The Batman. I'll fight anyone that says anything's better than the Batman. Just
Fall Guy or
personal
Batman?
opinion.
What's better?
Which one?
The Fall Guy or the Batman?
The Batman.
The Nice Guys or the Batman?
The Batman. No,
Guardians
the
of the
Batman. Yeah, the
Galaxy or
Batman's
the
better.
Batman?
Yeah. Which one?
Guardians of the Galaxy or the Batman?
The Batman.
The Incredibles or the Batman?
Oh, that's a tight one. The Batman.
Oh, damn, okay.
I think it went to number one for me. I was like, oh, this is my movie. Like,
Yeah.
Even if nobody else likes it, this movie's for me.
That's it, because it's everything you want. It's like, it's made for you, literally.
And I said it at the time in the review, and we reviewed it again over the Patreon.
That's ridiculous that we got away with that.
I was just like, let's watch it again. But so we reviewed it over there. I just was like, oh, it's the Arkham games mixed with the animated series, mixed with like Mask of the Phantasm. Weirdly, like he's year one.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, fucking, let's go. I'm all in.
And it's Pattinson, who I like. I think he's a nice man.
Pattinson's so good. Okay, Shaun, favorite superpower that you would never want to have.
Oh,
This is a tough one.
This is a tough one. Because
I have an answer.
Okay, you go first.
There's a character called Gunfire who we did a Hero Zero on, and his power is that he turns anything into a gun. And I think so. Like anything he touches gets turned
Fair.
into a gun, which I think would be a bad power.
It's a risk, yeah.
It's a risk-reward situation.
Yeah, I don't think any situation's ever been solved with more gun.
I just think if you give your mother a hug, she shouldn't turn into a rocket launcher.
No, probably not. It's the King Midas, but guns. I think, like, time travel, I would micromanage myself to death. I would be so stressed out.
That's the most you answer.
I know.
I'd be stressed.
I'd be stressed, because I would just be like, oh, I could have gotten a better joke if I worded it this way or something like that,
Yeah.
you know, like...
But that would be the social anxiety of like,
Yeah.
does anybody like me? Would make you just replay every conversation 15 times.
And it's to the point then, it's like, oh, I don't know what my real personality is anymore. Do you
Yeah,
know?
who am I? Am I just doing this because they like that?
Yeah. Am I just going off of the feedback of other people?
Yeah.
Who knows? Anyway, leave a like and review on whatever podcast.
Like, subscribe, share, follow.
Please, I need it. I really need
He
it.
won't give himself a fucking like to us. I think Gunfire. You think time travel actually is very... Yeah, it's not you. I don't think it's for you at all.
Yeah, no. And also, like, anything that makes me live forever, I think it'd be too much.
Yeah, you'd go mad. You'd go mad with that as well. I always wanted to stop time.
Yeah. But
Just
what,
as a power.
just as a, like... But that's because you want to do more things.
Yeah, I want to stop time and then do loads of shit and then start time again and sit back down.
That's... I mean, yeah. I mean, that's a noble thing.
And chill out.
But what happens to all the planes in the sky, you know?
No, they're just stop. As in, like, time just stops.
Time just stops, right?
Unless whatever I'm touching, at the time that I stop, it is still in... So if I'm touching a car, and I stop time, then that car is able to drive.
Right. What
That's
about
how I would work
atoms? Do they stop?
Look, alright, calm down.
Can you still heat up food, for
it's
example?
It's a fucking superpower, lad.
It works however you
Good
want
for
it
you. Time travel. What about the atoms, he says.
Also, mind reading. I don't want to know what anyone's thinking.
Yeah.
Keep it to yourself.
Actually, that might help you, though. Because you're always like, oh, they definitely don't like me. So if you were reading minds, you're like, oh, Sean's a good lad. You'd be like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, but it would be 99 of those, and then the one who is like, yeah, I really secretly hate him, would just ruin my entire life.
Yeah. Okay, so hey, lads, two big questions. Your least favourite Irish actor and actress.
I mean, we do like to support as much as we can.
Yeah.
He was in Roadhouse, so I'm going to say Conor McGregor is my least favourite.
Oh, yes! McGregor's the worst actor.
He's the
Of
worst.
course.
He's a rapist piece of shit.
He's just a dick. Just an absolute cunt of a lad.
Then...
I think he's probably the worst. Yeah, I think that goes down as McGregor could be the worst.
Yeah, for sure. And then... I don't know about actress, even, of like...
I know, it said actress, so I suppose
Actress
it could
Grant.
just be
McGregor's the worst.
if you have one.
He's the worst of all
and
of
the
them. British
second
MMA
favourite-
fighter Conor McGregor.
British, UK-based MMA fighter Conor McGregor. And second question, favourite county in Ireland?
Oh, it's not Dublin.
I'm gonna... It's not Dublin. Wait, lads. Fucking hell. I'm going to pick Leitrim because nobody would pick Leitrim.
Nobody ever picks Leitrim because there's nothing there. I like Galway a lot. I like Cork a lot.
That was nice. Yeah.
Kilkenny's nice.
I'm going to go with Kilkenny, actually. Kilkenny's the best one.
It's a glorious little spot. Waterford as well is nice.
Waterford, lovely spots all over this place.
That's it.
Oh, go to Dublin.
Anytime it's sunny, just get out of Dublin. We'll go somewhere else.
Just get out of there. For God, just in general, get out of there.
Go to Kilkenny, get an ice cream. You'd be grand.
I love, by the way, just my favourite thing is whenever we have like a weird news with like somebody from Ireland, whatever county they're in, we just annihilate because it's just funny just to be like, oh, he's from fucking Sligo, is he? Oh, she's fucking Sligo. For fuck's sake.
A few hills, do you? Get out.
And like we're from also a place with just nothing but hills, but you can just start talking shit.
But it's always it's the friendliest rivalry in the world. It's
pick a county. I love that if your friend is like, oh, I'm dating someone new, and like, oh, where are they from? Oh, they're from Dublin. Ash, look, you can't have everything, can you?
They taught her to speak, did they?
Ash,
like that kind of shit.
Just so stupid. Okay, so with the return of Daredevil, will they also be bringing back Luke Cage and the rest of the Defenders?
I think everyone but Iron Fist is coming back.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I think they're all coming back.
Because Iron Fist is really cool in the comics. It's just... And it's not even that actor's fault. They gave him no martial arts training to play Iron Fist.
It's really, really terribly done, that Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Like, Iron Fist should be Shang-Chi, but he's in a Disney Plus show. So he has to fight goons.
And Iron Fist is getting out-punched by Daredevil in that show.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you're literally Iron Fist.
Yeah, you are the best one.
Yeah, and Luke Cage, I mean, they could bring that guy. That guy's really good. Bring him back.
Nailed it. And then Jessica Jones is maybe the best of... Outside of Daredevil, probably the best of the Netflix series. Season 1, anyway. Season 2 isn't that great.
Yeah, so you could bring them all back. Have you been watching Daredevil, Shaun?
I have been. Watched the first 2 episodes that came out.
Okay. We can just do episode 1, no spoilers. What are we thoughts? Oh, Shaun's he's taking a look into the distance.
I'm thinking. It's... I enjoyed it. Right, no, okay. It feels...
What did you have Kevin Feige on the fucking line?
No, sorry. He's got a gun pointed at my head. There's a little red dot on my chest right now. The thing about it is, right.
Oh, here we go.
It's not as gritty or grounded as the Netflix Daredevil season 1 was.
Feels more airy. I don't know what the way to put it.
It feels people might not like this. It feels more like a Daredevil comic.
Oh, okay.
I think I prefer this tone to the Netflix one because I want a little bit of escapism in my Daredeviling.
Daredevil, the first Daredevil is you gotta sit down.
It's heavy, man.
So it's heavy, and so you're saying you maybe prefer maybe a lighter one.
Yeah, but it feels like a comic book for 17-year-olds. Does that make sense?
You just want to be 17.
Maybe that's it. It's all Arrested Development.
There's nothing wrong about that though, as well. Like I think it has a lot of good things for it. I'm trying to do no spoilers. But like, there's obviously the big one that's like
that got spoiled immediately, but we're not going to do it. Like
here. Everyone kind of knew was going to happen anyway. So I mean, what's the fucking difference?
Yeah.
I love Bullseye. I think that's so funny that he's just like a complete, he's just a dick. Just some people can just be a dick at all times.
He's an absolute hater.
I think Daredevil season 1 and the first 4 episodes of season 2, that stretch is just unbeatable. It's just really like it's not their fault. Like it just had like you're doing a show again like 10 years later from a show that was outrageously good.
Yeah.
Now season 2, the rest of it terrible, but like
the first 4 episodes.
But those first 4 episodes, like him talking to Punisher on that rooftop, I think one of the best scenes ever in any comic book medium of all time. Because it's the two of them disagreeing, but they both want the same thing, and they're
it's just
but
their
John
means differ.
Bernthal and Charlie Cox are just fucking killing it in that scene. You're like completely in. It's just them talking. There's no violence or anything. He's just
he's tied up. Like he's
and it's so ironic that like the show that has like that much violence, the best part of it is just them sitting there talking.
I will say this, like episode 1 of this new season, I saw like a behind the scenes thing with the cinematographer and the director, and they've changed how they handle the camera during fights. So the logic is that the camera knows what's going to happen, and then the actors kind of end up there. And it just gives this really cool thing where, like, it always feels like we're ahead of Daredevil, kinda. Which sounds like it wouldn't be good, but I just really liked how it made the fights flow.
Yeah.
Spoilers, there's fights in the first episode.
Wait, what? And like it's super violent. I think they like went way too, like they've gone all the way the other way to be like, no, we're the same. Which, and there was a weird part of me like, oh, you don't need to do that. Just like, a good show, it's fine. But like, also cool to see bones breaking. So like, I don't care.
Cool to see bones. I will say, Daredevil is a lot. He can take a lot more in this version.
Yeah, I noticed that. He's more malleable, is what I would say.
Yeah. And look, people have been saying he does some swinging on roofs, and people think it's silly. I think it's fucking rad.
Comics are weird. What do you do? Just if you gotta follow comics are just dumb anyway. So like, let's fucking go all in. I say, don't be ashamed. Let's have him swinging from rooftops.
Yeah, don't try and pretend he's real. You know? Yeah.
Don't try and pretend he's cool.
Yeah, no, he's a loser.
Man Murdoch's the loneliest boy on the land.
Little fucking sad boy.
So your favourite hero or zero characters. Examples, ones you've never heard of before, ones you already knew and love talking about, or however else you want to measure it. So you can measure it however you want, but your favourite hero or zero characters that we've covered.
Mine are like the ones where I know so much about them I don't have to look at notes. Yeah. Like, the Sentry is one of my favourite reports I've ever done. Same with Charlie Ramsey, the ultimate Hawkeye. I think they're just such a cool character. The one on Christoph Bernard, Little Doctor Doom. I really had fun recording that.
Now that might be recency bias, but I actually agree. I think my favourite report we've ever done is Psylocke. I genuinely think that's the best report. That's so stupid.
That's what I put off for a very long time.
That one is so terrible, but also so funny that like we had like loads of people messaging us being like, I've no idea what's going on, but I really enjoy it. I'm like, yeah, I agree. So I recommend going back and listen to the Psylocke report if you haven't. Shaun goes mental because Psylocke is a very broken character, completely broken in the comic books.
It's completely broken, but they never retconned it, so it all happened is the thing. So they never had like the big time travel thing where it's like, oh, it's all wiped from existence now. It's like, no, it continues. But every time they try and fix it, they keep trying to dig up, and it just keeps getting deeper and deeper. It's like, if we add this one little caveat to the rules, it'll make sense. It's like, no, it doesn't.
Like, it never gets any better. I would say the Psylocke report, obviously, like I like some of the reports that I've done, but so I love a character that we covered that I don't really know a lot about either, and then like I find out about it, I'm like really excited to tell my friend about, can't wait to tell Shaun about, he's going to love this paragraph. Yeah. He's going to love, and there's sometimes I put a report together, I'm like, Shaun's going to really love this one story beat, so I'm going to wait till halfway through before I throw that in. When he's like, I don't know about this character, and then I hit him with that, he's like, oh cool, let's go. Yeah,
that's really fun when that happens.
I think Psylocke is good. I haven't done Nightwing in a long time, but like all of the Robins, very similar to Shaun, is that like I could just talk about them.
Yeah, that's just a conversation at that point.
I can tell you all. I did Nightwing episode 52.
50, I think it was.
Well, episode 50 special. Was Nightwing, so that doesn't exist anymore.
So that's on the table, and like we can justify an hour for that.
Every single week for Hero Zero, I think, will I do Nightwing? And then I think, no, we don't have the time.
Yeah, we have a hard out at 7.
We're like, yeah, we have to go do something. And I'm like, well, I can't really keep Shaun for an hour and a half talking about Nightwing.
One that I really enjoyed that I always think back as like, oh, that was just a very fun report about something that I knew nothing about and is now one of my favourite versions of a character, is you did Kyle Rayner, the Green Lantern. And I was like, oh, that's just the coolest Green Lantern there is.
And at the very start, I was like, Shaun, this is your favourite Green Lantern.
Yeah.
You've just never heard of him. And you were like, nah. I was like, no, wait. Because I was like, he's my favourite. And I know the weird shit you like is very similar.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Kyle Rayner is fucking great. I love Shrunken Bones and what's the Monkey Man? What's
Gorilla
the other
Man.
guy? Gorilla Man, yeah. That and Psylocke are my 2 favourite episodes. That happens the week after Psylocke.
Yeah, because it was no mind swaps was your rule.
Yeah, so I would recommend anyone go listen to the Psylocke episode and then go listen to Shrunken Bones and Gorilla Man. And that's like the week after. And all it is like the first week Psylocke is like there's loads of brain swaps. Don't ask. They take her brain and put it in a different body and vice versa. We have like a really funny conversation. And so the week after, Shaun has to do another report, like 2 weeks later. And I say specifically, no brain swaps. And that was the one rule he had, because like, just have a normal week.
Yeah.
And then Shaun shows up with Gorilla Man, who's a man that they put his brain into a gorilla.
They put his whole head on a gorilla. So it's not a brain swap.
It's not a brain swap because
it's a body
his
switch.
head. And of course the Ringmaster is
of course.
The all-time fave, just because he's a character that just it's just got my heart of a man who has no ambitions in life.
I've also had a run for a while there of having characters with spheres for heads.
True. There was what's the woman's name with the big
Ruby
rage?
Thursday.
Ruby Thursday, yeah, I remember that.
8-Ball, the Orb,
8-Ball
Mysterio.
8-Ball, if you don't know who 8-Ball is, he's a Marvel villain who's very good at pool.
Yeah,
but
Jeff
like not
Hagees
like
is his name.
But like he's not the best at pool. Like he still loses, but he's pretty good at pool.
He's just quite good, and he has an exploding pool cue.
It's pretty good. Next question, Shaun. What's Detective Divilment up to lately? How many bodies has he delivered as of late? Now, Detective Divilment is a character that I think a lot of new people have no fucking clue who Detective Divilment is.
It's the name of our Facebook group, is Detective Divilment's discussion group.
Yeah.
So Detective Divilment was in Hero Zero. We occasionally do characters. Like we have Lawler and me in Mean on the Law, where we play a team of exasperated lawyers. Or
trying to get Florida Man off. Most of the time.
One of us plays a judge or something like that. Or one of us plays like the partner who someone comes home to after doing an incalculable amount of damage at work.
How was your day? Honestly, not good.
It's one of my favourite sound bites. Is after that man sunk a submarine.
Yeah, so there was a weird news story where a man forgot to close the latch on a $3 billion submarine that they had built, and so he was out for a cigarette. Our story was he's out for a cigarette, and then they're like, we're taking off, we're going into the war. He throws the cigarette away and he gets back in, he forgets to properly close the latch behind them, and all the water comes in to the inside of the submarine and completely ruins $3 billion worth. I think it was like half the gross of like the country into that submarine. And
he then had to go home and like to his wife or his husband and be like, yeah, no, it was a tough day.
Like, how was your day?
Honestly,
it could have went better.
Yeah, not great to be honest with you.
Yeah, I love that stuff. So Detective Divilment is a character that appeared in a weird news story, I think like maybe year 1, like very early on.
Yeah.
Because somebody was arrested for mischief, I think.
Yes, and we equated that with divilment, which is an Irish term.
In Ireland, divilment is like, it's a child gets up to divilment. So it's not devilment. It's 2 eyes. It's divilment. And all it is like, it's not a devil child. It's just, he's up to no good. He's causing a bit of ruckus, but he hasn't done anything terrible. It's just like going around pushing things over or something. Yeah,
it's just causing trouble for the sake of it, basically. It's like you're up to divilment.
Like, shithousery is a level above divilment. Divilment is like the most minor level of just like shithousery.
Yeah, divilment is putting a sign on someone's back that says "kick me."
Yeah,
like,
that's the level of difference.
So, like you're being an annoying prick, but you're not really hurting anyone.
But like you're not harming anybody. So like it's different, right? So that was one of our phrases. And then we were like, well, what if there was a police detective that only solved crimes for mischief or for devilment?
Yes.
And his name was Detective Devilment. And he always had like a long, slow drag of a cigarette. And within 24 hours, he always brought you a body.
Regardless of what you were actually looking for.
So somebody puts a sign of "kick me" on the back of a child, and he brings you the body of whoever did it.
Yeah, and that's the... And like, I think there was a running joke that he had like a long trench coat that always had steak and milk in the pockets. I wish I'd bring Detective Devilment back, because that's great.
It's just Detective Devilment is just such a silly... It was one of those things where like we just came up with it. We were just talking one day, which was really funny, and then it just gets out of hand because it just get bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah, but I think is he on any TV or shirts that we have?
No, he was on the poster for a while, but I don't know if he still is. So
we have a merch store. If you don't know, it's down below. But it's Here's for Hire. I'd say Here's for Hire shop.
here'sforhire.ie/shop.
.ie/shop. But like, you can go over there and you can buy loads of stuff. But Detective Devilment is on one of the tag tops, I think. It's like Florida Man.
And Jared Leto and Detective Devilment
Florida
and
Man
Pirate
and Jared
Ghosts.
Leto and Detective Devilment. And so Jared Leto is another one, obviously. Jared Leto, but we just call him Leto because he's just a foot.
It's just a foot of a man.
That's just devilment.
That's devilment. That's hurting nobody.
Hurting nobody. It's just a bit of devilment.
I want to make, like, you know, the NYPD, like, firemen t-shirts. I want one of them, but it's devilment.
Detective Devilment is on the Patreon mug. So we have a separate shop over for the patron store. And what it is I think it's if someone's at the highest tier for 3 months... I think
there's a special mug you get.
There's like an exclusive mug that only they get. And
it's a headache of a mug. There's a lot on it.
It's just every one of our characters put onto one thing. And
Little Dickie's on there, I think.
Little Dickie's. I designed it myself. It's really terrible. Little Dickie's another character that, if you don't know, is just Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson.
We just call him Little Dickie because of devilment.
Because we're messing.
Because I thought it would be really funny, which we currently have in our merch store right now, is there's a t-shirt that has Little Dickie on it with Robin swinging from it. Yeah. And I just thought it'd be really funny trying to explain that to your loved ones. Of like, what does the fuck you wear? I have one, because obviously I run the store. So,
of course. Free merch.
I have a hoodie and I wore it in front of my dad once just for the reaction, and he just gave me a look. He didn't even say anything. He just gave me a look and was like, right, okay.
What's going on, son?
I was like, it's Dick Grayson, the first Robin.
Yeah.
Do you not understand?
If you knew the first Robin and listened to 700 episodes of this podcast, then you would understand it.
You don't get it, Dad. You don't know me.
What's it I'm not with anymore?
What job? Oh, so we're moving on, by the way, but that's all of our characters. If you can come up with any other characters that we've forgotten, send them in.
Definitely some.
Long-time listeners, you'll obviously know a few more of them, because we just come up with them and then we forget. Like, I genuinely think people don't understand that we record an episode and then I forget everything that's happened.
I wipe it from my mind. Like, humanly, I don't think we could store all of the bullshit we've said.
Yeah, like, genuinely, I sometimes get that, like, people message us and they're like, oh, you remember that story you did on that other thing? And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like a weird news story. Yeah. Like, what's that guy up in New Zealand? Do you remember with the cat? What's he up to? And I'm like, what fucking guy in New Zealand with the cat?
Yeah, no, every time it's like weird news is this like activation of just like, oh, okay, now be focused on this for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And now never think of it again.
And I genuinely cannot take... Last week, we did a full review of Captain America, Brave New World. To tell you exactly how stupid we are.
Yeah.
We did a full review for Captain America, Brave New World, and it came out and whatever. And then we got a Blue Sky. It's not a tweet, it's a post. So it was a post on Blue Sky. It was like, oh, just listen to the Captain America, Brave New World review from Here's for Hire. Really great point that I hadn't considered. Gonna discuss it more. I'm gonna bring that up or whatever. And I genuinely read it and I was like, what fucking point did we make?
What did we talk about on that?
I sent it to Shaun and I was like, can you remember any points that we made?
And I was like, no.
That was
literally hours ago, Connor.
I can't remember anything. That'll tell you the level of stupidity you're dealing with here. It's just like, we're kind of talking just between the two of us. I forget people are tuning in.
Yeah.
And they're like, people are listening. All right, okay. Okay, what is one thing about Ireland that you wish was more widely known by the rest of the world?
Positive or negative? I don't know.
Ireland is bigger than Dublin.
It's bigger. Yeah, there's more stuff in it than Dublin.
And the Cliffs of Moher. There's more to Ireland than the Cliffs of Moher and Dublin.
It's true. Our food is not that bad.
It's not great.
No, you give me a bowl of stew on a fucking winter's evening, we're grand.
I mean, I wouldn't like go hard at that. Our food is great. I'm not going to die on that hill with you.
But it's okay. It's expensive, first of all. Like
it is expensive.
Everything's way pricier than it should be.
Yeah,
but it's also not as small and quaint as you might think it is.
I think the thing that people mostly think of Ireland, they think of the Banshees of Inisherin, and they think that's all of Ireland.
And that exists in certain parts, for sure.
Yeah, there's still like small areas, but like I would say that the majority of it has. I would say all of Ireland has internet, and it has, I don't know, shops and places to go, and everyone has a car.
That's the thing. There's we have a lot of the same things that exist all over the world.
I think it's because we had this weird thing in Ireland where, like, even in the 90s, we were still kind of in the 70s.
Yes.
Like, we were still very behind. And then when 2000s came along, we, like, caught up so quickly that people still think we're 20 years behind where everyone else is. But I think everyone's the same as everywhere else now.
This is the thing. And, like, most of Ireland, like, a lot of our stuff is multinational businesses coming here for tax breaks and using data centres and stuff like that. Very good series on Netflix if anyone wants a fairly realistic look at like modern-ish Ireland. Bodkin, it's called. It's about Will Forte. He comes because he's doing a podcast about the Samhain festival, and he thinks it's going to be all old Ireland, and it's just regular modern Ireland.
It's just like, and I think people are disappointed when they show up.
Yeah, there is a certain amount of like, there is a thing called Paris syndrome where people go to Paris and are real disappointed because it's just like a regular city.
Everywhere's the same.
Yeah, the world is smaller than it used to be.
I think because you just see it on TV, you're like, oh, it's got to be amazing. And I think you go there, you're like, oh, this is all really nice.
Yeah.
But I think everyone's just trying to always be shocked. Sometimes it's like, oh, well, this is actually just really nice.
Yeah, you can just go and enjoy
Paris is a lovely city. But if you go, it's very similar to a movie. If you go in expecting something to blow your mind will never be blown.
Exactly, yeah. What to do? Come to Kilkenny. Be grand.
Come to Kilkenny. Kilkenny is my favourite place in Ireland. Go to Kilkenny. It's absolutely lovely. I'd say go, Waterford, Galway,
Cork, Kerry.
Cork and Kerry, you won't understand anything that's being said, but you can go. I think there's loads of nice places in the middle that get overlooked, I think.
Yeah, the Midlands are a nice part of the country, I will say.
I'm trying to find a different one that we haven't answered. It's... Oh, Shaun, if the listeners were a number or animal, which one would we be?
Oh.
That's a good one.
Oh. If it was a number, you'd be 56. And I don't know why, but that makes me happy, that number. Because 8 times 7 makes it, and that's just nice. And then it also adds up to 10.
The thing about
11.
any of the things I think that Shaun says out of his brain is don't question it. Just be like, Snake Laddie's alive. We're playing to him. He's doing well.
He's alive. And as an animal then, like the collective as an animal?
See, it's hard to think of a collective, but yes.
It's hard to think of a collective. Do it.
Do it right now. See, you can pick a herd of animals. So like you can pick a murder of crows. Or you can
I was thinking a murder of crows.
It's
infecting him.
Oh no. Oh no. So 56 and a murder of crows, if you want to know.
56 and a murder of crows.
Do you want to call yourselves the crows?
Oh, lads, if you want to be the crows, that'd be class. That'd be unreal.
Shout out to the crows.
The he crows
if either
for
of you
hire.
still pay attention to the WWE, who are your favourite wrestlers currently? Shaun?
I mean, Rhea Ripley, I think, is class. And is it Io as well?
Io Sky.
Io Sky. She's fucking unreal.
Shaun is a dabbler.
I dip my toe. I watch the events. I watch the big events.
You do watch the event now that's on Netflix. You do watch the events.
Way easier.
Because I mean, look, everyone doesn't know wrestling is just comic books, but just in a different form. So I got Shaun into wrestling because I was like, you like comic books? Here's this guy Daniel Bryan.
Yeah,
you're gonna like him. Think of like Spider-Man.
Do love Daniel Bryan.
He's down on his luck. He's his little guy. He's trying his best, right? It's all just good guy, bad guy, the whole idea. So I was been a wrestling fan for many years. Then I went away from it, as everyone does, and then you kind of come back around. I'm more AEW now, but like I have like a weird. The thing in my brain is that I know lots of stuff about that.
Fair. And in AEW, my favourite, I think, is Darby Allin, because
Darby Allin and Rhea Ripley are, you have a type.
Yeah, I do, that's true.
They're all just him when he was 17.
They're what I imagine to be the coolest a person can look.
My favourite is Hangman Adam Page. If you're,
Hangman's unreal.
Hangman Page is, I think, the best wrestler in the world currently. I will take no further questions, please. Also, it looks the exact same as Stephen Amell, if anyone wants to.
But a much nicer man, it turns out.
A much nicer man, apparently.
I want you to do a Heroes Zero where you tell everyone about Hangman versus Swerve. And just
I could do a full 45 minutes on that. And it was very similar when I talk to you and I'm like, Shaun, and then this happened.
Yeah. We'll just record that the next time it happens.
There's a funny story about when we were on the radio. Do you want to tell everyone what we were doing in between music breaks?
You were showing me WWE promos. And talking me through the history of everyone and what they were up to.
So we would do a full 20-minute segment. I'd hit the ad break, we'd go to a music break, and then in between that 8 minutes or 6 minutes of music, I'd be like, Shaun, right, here's what we do. And I was showing him clips on YouTube, and I was like, so this guy's this guy, and this guy is what's going on there. And he's like, cool. He's kind of like your friend who's just nodding to his weird friends, like, oh,
but
very
suddenly
good.
One day I started asking questions.
Then he asked a follow-up question. I was like, I have him.
He's hooked.
He's in. And I mean, I suppose we could finish on Shaun. Favourite superhero?
Oh,
actually, no. Sorry, my apologies. Our second to last question will be from one name I'm going to read out, Callum, who said that suppose people are asking about favourite comics and characters, but it would be great if you could answer this on the show. Can I be the last question? No. So your favourite superhero?
You set yourself up for that. I'm sorry.
Bit of devilment.
Bit of devilment. No one's hurt. Favourite superhero? I mean, it's Spider-Man. But it's really I'm putting in work to be a Spider-Man fan. Yeah,
it's rough. It's a rough time.
It's rough out there. I have a lot of characters I enjoy, but if I have to say it, it's definitely Spider-Man. Peter Parker.
What's your top three? Let's go top three. So we got Spider-Man number one.
Spider-Man, Moon Knight. I've often said Moon Knight is my dude. And the Sentry, I think.
I might go... I'm going to be very Robin heavy here. We'll go Dick Grayson.
Little Dicky.
We'll go Little Dicky. Little Timmy is obviously second. Tim Drake. Yeah. Because
Big
Tim
D.
Drake,
no.
Big Daddy D, as I call him. We could call him both Big Daddy D, technically.
True. True. I've seen the fan edits.
So Little Dicky and Big Daddy D.
Oh, God.
And... a third, I mean, obviously, you could go with the Batman if you want. You
sound so thrilled about that.
I don't sound too thrilled about it though. I do love Damian Wayne in a shithouse way. In a funny way. No, I might go to Flash. Because I think
interesting.
Wally West the Flash is fun, and also Justice League the animated series. That was the introduction to that. I said that was the last question, but I found a final last question that I think is better, Shaun. Okay. Favourite superhero or villain costume? ideally from a fashion or aesthetic point of view, not a practical one.
Okay, Marvel used to do this thing, and it was my favourite thing in the world, and they stopped doing it. So, when I think it was Jonathan Hickman was writing X-Men, they did the Hellfire Gala, which is every year they would have this big gala, and they would just do really cool, high-fashion designs of superhero suits.
Cool.
And Hellfire Gala, I think it was 2022, there's a Doctor Doom suit. And it's like this regal, it's like a king's outfit, but it's just Doctor Doom. It's this big fur cloak he's wearing. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
I was actually thinking Doom, but General Doom?
Yeah, no, General Doom as well is class.
I think General Doom is outrageously good. I have a few.
Yeah.
So I went Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
Moon Knight. I think that outfit is...
Which one? Hooded cloak or suit?
Hooded cloak.
Hooded cloak is the one.
I'm not actually a fan of the suit.
No. I like the suit sleeves rolled up. I think that's a fun vibe.
I just love... No, I love the hood. I love the whole look.
Yeah.
The whole aesthetic is really nice. Miles Morales, I love the black and red. And along the same lines, Batman Beyond, I think is... that suit is so simple, but it's just slick. It's just really slick and looks really cool.
Starman, who you talked about on Hero Zero a few weeks back, love that design.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one. We've covered some really good ones. There's some really cool suits that you're just like, oh, that's a really good outfit.
Yeah, like that tracks really well. Who was it? Was it Manhunter? We were like,
Manhunter.
We very much like an assembled suit of like it's pieced together. And
yeah, Manhunter, yeah, she's really, really cool. That's Kate Spencer, yeah, she'd be really cool, yeah.
The Daredevil suit where he has the hand wraps and just the black. Oh.
This is just us saying things we like the look of now. There's so many cool suits, like villain and superhero and villains. It's weird. Neither of us picked our favorite heroes, but like,
yeah,
like I think one of the worst suits ever done is the 70s Nightwing, like with the fucking weird light and the bits of yellow.
Oh,
it's really shit.
A lot of Spider-Man suits are trash.
I hate a Nightwing with a red symbol. There's something in me that hates that.
And it's like that's Terry's symbol.
They tried it for a few years. I think it was like 2017, maybe after New 52 came in, and then they did he was an agent, and it's just the whole thing. But then he came back in a red suit, and I remember reading them, and I was like, this isn't. I like blue.
Yeah,
blue is.
And I know you're trying to do a Robin callback, but it doesn't. It doesn't work.
You have to be blue. That's just the rules.
Yeah, you're meant to be blue.
Tim Drake, Red Robin, is a slick suit.
Tim Drake, Red Robin. Which one is that? That's not where he has the rounded cowl, is it?
Yeah, I think it's... See, there's different versions as well. It's it's done differently sometimes, but...
Chest straps.
Yeah, I like that suit a little bit, but that also might just be nostalgia. That might just be bias towards the character himself.
Oh no, but I know exactly the one. I see the one here that you're looking at. Yeah, I know it's that one. Yeah,
it's slick.
That one fucks.
Yeah, and then I just love a Robin suit that's trousers. Can't deal with the short shorts. I know it's like very famous. Trousers.
Oh, it's way better.
It's way better. It looks super cool. Black and red. So it's like full red with like black bits in it.
As long as it's not Nightwing.
As long as it's not Nightwing. Nightwing has to be blue. Don't question it, right? There's just logic there. So I think we've got through we've got so many other questions. I'm really sorry to anyone who we didn't get to their question. But this is the first Q&A we've done in like 2 years. So there's quite a few of them to get to.
Yeah, and thank you to everyone who sent them in. It was a lot of fun. And I hope they were good answers. I think it's not often we actually do like actual conversations. It's usually a lot of bits, you know.
Yeah, and I'm a bit uncomfortable right now. I'll be honest with you. I don't like talking to you.
I've never been more comfortable. You're my best friend in the world, but that's fine. Don't worry
I'm sitting here naked right now. As comfortable as ever.
I got more naked as the show went on.
One sock off. Throw that away.
I'm playing strip poker by myself.
I wish I could stop time and leave. So, Shaun, you can take us out, so I suppose.
Oh, thank you everyone for listening to this episode of the show. Big thank you to everyone who supports us over on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. Link to that is in the description. And shout outs go To Róisín and Baby Ben Palmer, Joe Burney, Ryan Komatsu, Dozer, Enthusiast, Evanson, new Waffles Who Dis, David Clarke, Dominic, Anna looks forward to the next Irish animal story, Hjelmroos, Danny McLaughlin, Lordsmish, Michelle Browne, Frost, apparently full of fish facts, Ed Ball, Conor and Lorraine don't like our chances of winning the Eurovision, Russ, I didn't catch all the stories 2 weeks ago, is Sentry actually powered by 25,000 salmon, or did Spotify skip Parfitt? Jackson Brueheim will be attending Shaun's upcoming gum eating intervention, Liz had a few too many on St. Paddy's Day and tipsily subscribed to the Patreon, Ciara Lawler, Judge Leahy, Mikeychairsnumber1fan Shaun is cool and a genius. Rory, Shaun having a crush on Master Tigress was not on Pete's bingo card for 2025. Jack Markham, Barrel of Cheese, Johnny Ray, Hunter Harvard the Texas Ironman, Donegal George, Lisa wants you to sing the Laika song Go, Justin Bowman and Joe Reid. Thank you all for your support. We really appreciate it. We could not make the show without all of you, so thank you very much. If you want to support us over there, heading over to patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. There is also the merch store, heroesforhire.ie/shop. Twitter's at Heroes for Hire pod. The 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Detective Divilment's discussion group. Instagram is Heroes for Hire podcast. Blue Sky is Heroes for Hire podcast. And the best way to ever help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Oh, also, final question. Someone said, did they ever solve the thing with the big man sticking out of the earth in Captain America? Yes.
Yeah, they talked about it for 5 minutes, so it's pretty good.
That must be solved. So I've been Conor Lawler.
I've been Shaun Meehan.
I will see you all next week, guys.
Bye.